While you're out there looking for the next big opportunity, Warren Buffett is drinking Coca-Cola. And no, not investing in Coca-Cola. He's literally sipping a can of Coca-Cola. Calm, unhurried, not checking his phone every 5 minutes, not scrolling through Reddit or TikTok looking for the next one that'll 10x. He's not excited, not even interested. Yet, he makes more money in a single day than many young investors make in their entire lives. Why? The answer is simple, but you won't like it. You can't invest like Warren Buffett because you don't have his mindset, because you need excitement, because you want quick results, because you're not willing to endure silence, or boredom, or the idea of watching your money grow slowly, like paint drying on a wall. Buffett is. He doesn't fall in love with ideas. He falls in love with fundamentals. While you chase what's sexy, disruptive, or tech-driven, he looks for what's necessary, ordinary, timeless. Coca-Cola, Gillette, insurance, railroads, banking. While others were buying cryptocurrencies without understanding them, Buffett was investing in businesses that had survived wars, recessions, and presidents. And still, most people mock that approach. That's outdated. That doesn't work anymore. But who keeps growing year after year? Who keeps increasing their net worth even when the market crashes? He doesn't invest in Tesla. He doesn't have the latest iPhone. He doesn't live in a designer mansion or own a private jet. He's lived in the same house since 1958. He drives an unremarkable car. Not because he can't upgrade, but because he doesn't need to. Because he understands something most of us still don't. Investing isn't about looking smart. It's about being patient and knowing what actually works. Warren Buffett has said again and again that his greatest competitive advantage isn't intelligence. It's his ability to wait, to do nothing, to resist the crowd's excitement. Do you know how many times he's been called outdated? How many times people said he was missing the train? And yet, he built that train, literally. One of his biggest holdings is Burlington Northern, one of the largest railroad networks in the US. While everyone was looking at Silicon Valley, Buffett was buying rail. While others invested in startups with no business model, Buffett put his money into companies people use every single day, often without even realizing it. He doesn't need his investments to go viral. He just needs them to be profitable. Boring? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely.
Most of us don't have that tolerance. We get anxious when our money doesn't move. We panic if a stock doesn't go up in a week. We sell in fear, we buy based on hype, and we repeat the cycle over and over again. Buffett doesn't. He buys with the intention of never selling because he understands the power of compound interest. Not in a spreadsheet, in real life, over the long term, the very long term. When he invested in Coca-Cola in 1988, many thought it was crazy. Putting billions into a soda company? Today, more than 30 years later, he's still collecting billions in dividends. And not only has he not sold, he's increased his position whenever others doubted it. Because Buffett doesn't invest in companies. He invests in human habits, in behaviors that don't go out of style, in products so embedded in people's lives that nobody even thinks about them, but everyone uses them. People will keep drinking Coca-Cola, keep using razors, keep insuring their cars, keep eating ice cream. That doesn't change with technology, or with trends, or politics. That's his philosophy. Bet on what doesn't change. While you're looking for the next Amazon, he's looking for the next McDonald's. Something that works, that's simple, that has strong margins, that people understand, that you understand, and that's key. Buffett doesn't invest in things he doesn't understand. And if you can't explain your investment to a 10-year-old, chances are you don't understand it either. He avoids complexity, avoids mystery, avoids overhype. He's said it many times. His most sacred rule is to stay within his circle of competence. What does that mean? That he prefers to win consistently with what he knows rather than try to shine with what he doesn't. People mock him for that, call him old-fashioned, accuse him of not understanding tech. But it's not about understanding code, it's about understanding business models. And if that model depends on hype, external funding, or growth without profit, Buffett won't touch it. The fascinating part is that his approach, though it may seem conservative, has built one of the greatest fortunes in history. And he didn't start rich. His fortune comes almost entirely from one thing: consistency, discipline, and an unshakable philosophy. Buy great businesses at a good price and hold them for a very, very long time. So the question isn't whether you can invest like Warren Buffett. The question is whether you can think like him. wait like him, tolerate like him, endure like him. Because investing like Buffett isn't about copying his portfolio, it's about copying his character, his vision, his belief in consistency, in simplicity, in what already works, but that you ignore because it's not exciting. And that's what separates you from him. It's not your lack of knowledge, it's not your lack of capital, it's your lack of patience, your inability to let time work in your favor. So, are you going to keep chasing adrenaline?
Or are you ready to get bored while getting rich? Because if you can't do that, you can't do what he does. You can't invest like Warren Buffett.